So we're inside the Royal Scottish Museum. It's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Weather is miserable outside, and we're in some section of the museum showing old toys and whatnot from the 1950s. There's some Meccano and Lego and Airfix models, all of which I still have in my attic. And I think this whole section just deals with old 50s, 30s, 40s, 60s kind of memorabilia, toys, radios, and I mean, look at this little thing down here. What on earth is that? A hand-operated phonogram. Wow, there's a few of them. Yeah. Oh my. Hey, that was high tech back then, number 12. That thing with the little miniature tape recorder and all that. I bet you that was like, people couldn't believe it when they saw that. It would be like, wow! Look at that! Ah yes, Walkman. Had one of those. Now we're coming into my era. So had one of those. And in fact had 2 of those. Didn't quite make it to a Discman. Nah. And what else we got? We got if we go around this way, I think we'll see some old kitchens and whatnot.
Okay.
Yep. So this is a kitchen from the 1950s, 60s. Yeah, that's where they would keep their vegetables over there. That would be like a fridge at the top, a pressure cooker. And do you see that thing on the sink? Do you know what that's for?
Washing.
So the one with the handle. So you'd wash your clothes on that side, and then you would put them through the 2 things and turn the handle. It would squeeze the water out. You know, it's called a mangle. So this is not that old a place. I'd be willing to bet that there's still probably old people in Edinburgh with kitchens like this.
Oh, definitely.
You know, no doubt. Don't know what most of these things are. Ah, that's for maybe Morse code. This one. So that little handle is dots and dashes, dots and dashes. Yeah, still got one of these old phones.
Black one.
Yeah, look at the phone number. It was 7534. Because there wasn't that many phones. You only need 4 numbers. Phone number Caledonian 7534.
That's an old school computer.
Mega old school computer. Oh, look at this old IBM typewriter. Daisy wheel printing action. Very nice. Very nice. Oh. Some old stuff in here, eh? Oh my god. Old till.
Oh.
Old till, which is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 1, number 6. Cash register 1905. It's a brass case. It's from the United States. And it's dated around about 1905, so that's about what, 110 years old?
Oh my goodness.
We've come a long way in 110 years, now it's barcodes. Newish, that's old. That's Sinclair's ZX81 at the back. That was brought out in about 1979. and it cost £80, and it came as a kit, and you had to assemble it yourself, and it had 1K of memory. It was totally rubbish. But conversely, right, if you find one of those on eBay now, you won't get one for less than £500.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. Those became very collectible for some reason. That's an old iMac, I think.
It's quite new, isn't it? That iMac, it's still fairly quite
See here, it says here the revolutionary low price for the ZX81, $49.95. That's incorrect. It was $79.99. Oh, it's an Apple G3. Well, that's new. I mean, when I was at university in 1997, this is what we were using. Yeah, and that's it. There's PlayStation 1. And there's some kind of now I am sure my next door neighbour had something exactly like that, or very, very similar like that, because I totally remember we used to spend for like hours, you know, totally engrossed watching the two bats hitting a ball back and forward, you know. That was like high tech in those days. That was enjoyable. No information.
What is it, Johnny?
The ancient Egyptians believed in life after death. So this was how they. Is this what they did for everyone, or just the rich ones? Must just be the rich ones.
Just the rich ones.
Aye. I mean, that looks like it would be costing a few quid. You know. And that's a child's coffin.
Well, those are the sarcophaguses. That's where they used to put them on.
Wow. Pretty nice. So these date from quite a while back. Yeah. These date from 715 BC up to 1075. So 1075 to 715. So roughly about 3,000 years ago.
Oh gosh.
So here we are, the Pioneer turntable.
No, wait. Oh yeah, that's it going.
Okay, so here we are, this is the Pioneer turntable, which was a Japanese-made Pioneer, 1974. And this one was a belt-driven, cost about £60 back in 1974. But you have to remember that in 1974, £60 would have probably been about maybe a week's wages. Probably more than a week's wages. 1974, yes, probably more than a week's, definitely more than a week's wages. A week's wages in 1974 were more like £30. Yeah, I've got one of these I've got maybe one or two in the loft. I also have the LP that you see on the wall behind, Tubular Bells by Mike Oldfield. I also actually have that, still the record of that. Although mine's very scratched because I played the ass out of it. You know, as you did when you were that age. It's finished. Put it on again. Okay. What you did tonight? Listen to that LP 8 times. Okay. See these reel-to-reel tape recorders? I've got about maybe 4 or 5 still in the loft, and they work. And on some of the tapes contains me talking as like a 3 and 4 year old, you know. Because my dad used to have this habit. He always had this habit to like make recordings of people or photographs. But he liked to make recordings of people like, well, just us as a family, you know. But he wouldn't tell us that he was doing it. So he would get like a completely natural whole afternoon of the family just sitting about, and nobody would know, you know. And I've got like hours and hours of that stuff, you know. I must put it on digital stuff at some point.
Oh, you'll need to. I'll have to hear that. What's this thing, Johnny?
This is also a reel-to-reel tape recorder. And you see this little tape recorder here, number 12. This would be the kind of tape drive that you would use to load programs into those old computers that we saw downstairs, you know. Yeah, headphones, man. When they came, this was the you couldn't believe this sound. You just couldn't believe it. It was like the band was playing in your head, you know. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. That's more modern than that one, probably. 1984. Yeah, I mean, look, Talking Heads. I mean, even you've probably heard of them. I don't know. No. I don't think they're on the go now. Compact disc 1993. No, that's not compact disc. Oh, there's compact disc. Number 22. Came out in 1983. Yes. Yeah, that's right. Because I remember just when Madonna got started, when she was like a virgin, touched for the very first time, like a virgin, Madonna. Hard to put that picture in your mind now when you see her. But my friend got the CD of Madonna, and we played it on the CD player, and went ooh ah, because we were like, I was 16, I think, and it was like, oh, the sound. Where's the hiss from the record? There's no record. This is it. CD time.
Fantastic. 1921, yeah.
1921. Oh yeah, it says on Edinburgh, 1921. Made by Ritchie and Son. And this clock has always occupied this same spot in this museum since I can remember coming here. And the first time I came in this museum was 40 years ago. You know? So it was a long time ago now. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful engineering. Okay, so here we have the Commodore PET 2001. This computer came with either 8K, 16K, or for the extremely rich, 32K. It had no internal hard drive and no operating system whatsoever. It did have a minimal operating system stored on ROM chips, so it was very fast to boot. So the moment you switched it on, it would be ready to use in approximately 3 seconds. Any programs that you needed to load inside would be put in through the magnetic cassette player. I'll give you an idea of how long it would take. A 4K program would take about 6 minutes, and the chance of error was about 1 in 4. So every 4 times you loaded a program in, you'd have to, you'd get 1 time when it didn't work. So it was a lot of high degree of error.
What's the iPad doing here?
Okay, so we're looking at this aircraft down here. This is what's called an autogyro, and not for the faint-hearted pilot, I must say. Okay, and how this actually worked was that large rotor that you see was not powered, it was powerless. It was just allowed to swivel about in the wind. But as you see on the front, there is a small propeller, traditional style propeller engine. That used to propel the vehicle on its wheels along the tarmac until it would reach a sufficient speed that this rotating blade would start rotating in the wind so much that it would start to generate lift, and then whoosh, up it would go. So the whole lift was generated without any power pushing it up the way. That huge rotating helicopter style blade just served to spin in the wind, you know, and it was only driven by the energy of the wind passing by it, you know. Auto gyro. You don't want to stall one of those. If you stall one of those, you need parachute. You'll never recover. So what do we have here? These are like preserved specimens of... Wow.
What is that?
I have no idea, but check it out, man. That's pretty... Wow, that must be an octopus, surely, next to it. And that looks like... Oh, that's a squid, dude. That one is squid, I think. Shetland Isles, North Atlantic. No. Doesn't say what it is. Not really sure what it is. It looks like a squid to me. Look at that sword, dude. A long sword. A katana. It's called a katana.
Right.
I just realised that there's a Japanese motorcycle called a Suzuki Katana. It must be named after this sword type thing. Wow. I was on that floor below looking at it. Oh, God. And that's a big screen. So this is from the ground floor looking up. So this is the old entrance you used to come in here. But standing right in the middle of the hall, and this is looking up, and I think this building is made roughly in the middle of the 1800s. And you'll see the design of the ceiling and whatnot. and it's really a really big place.
Hi there. This is closing in about 10 minutes.
Just on the way out, thanks.
It's okay.
And there's so many things to see in here, and it's such a busy place, and it's free. And there's Judith, who said she's enjoyed herself here today. Yeah, that's a nice. As usual, not enough time for me to see everything. This always happens. Always happens. Still. I think that's Isaac Newton. Ah, okay. So he would be interested to hear the report given by the National Institute of Standards and Technology regarding the collapse of the Twin Towers on the September 11th, 2001, because they gave an explanation that didn't seem to fit this guy's laws of physics. So there's the man himself. And let's ask him. Oh no, that's James Watt. He didn't. It wasn't him that said that.
Steam engine though.
He was the steam engine, and they named the university after him, Hairy Twat.